YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher of Realms. This is going to be the Silas guide. So Silas is easily one of the most powerful units in Watcher of Realms. It's not even that close. Also, he's kind of cool because he has skins, right? So he has the normal skin and then also this skin. But anyways, that's just a little bit of a tangent. If you go ahead and get Silas, congrats. He is probably the best piercer in the game as of right now. Maybe a little bit contested by both Yovar and Lady Alexandria, but overall super good unit. So let's just go ahead and get straight to it. Skills. Now, one of the things that's most important about Silas is he does have a bond skill with Vierna. So typically if you go ahead and get Silas but you don't have Vierna, you're losing out on a lot of damage overall. So you really want to try to go ahead and get Silas and Vierna if you're able to. Anytime there's a Vierna banner, if you don't have her, you want to go ahead and get her. Reason being is because of this bond skill. So whenever you go ahead and obtain Vierna, you unlock the bonus effect. So during the effects of Shadow Cloak, Soul Sniping deals 100% extra damage. Now Soul Sniping, if you don't know, deals 140% damage, ignores 50% of the target's defense. That's insane. So let's go ahead into his basic attacks. It is going to deal 120% damage to one enemy, prioritizing airborne units. And then he has another passive, which is here, which is if a unit within attack range dies, it increases his damage by 40% for 10 seconds. And this effect can be triggered up to one time every 15 seconds whenever this is fully skilled up. Then finally, you have the Eye of the Curse, which is after attacking the same target 5 times, inflicts Eye of Curse upon the target for about 12 seconds. The Eye of Curse will be triggered only one time every 20 seconds, so you can't just constantly proc it. And then Soul Sniping will deal 50% extra damage to units with the Eye of Curse. So overall, just another boost to his overall damage. And then his talents, which is deals 20% extra damage to airborne units after attacking 5 times, triggers Soul Sniping on the next attack. So when it comes to airborne units, he's kind of a menace, right? He's just constantly going to chunk them out. He's really potent at that. So you'll see him in like anti-air arena occasionally if people don't have Ingrid. Then his ultimate, which is Shadow Cloak. Now this is kind of triggered because we have a couple of other skills that are kind of reliant on this ultimate. So with Shadow Cloak, damage increases by 80% and each attack becomes Soul Sniping that ignores the defense and magic resistance of the target for 20 seconds. Insane. And then also this changes when you go ahead and get those awakenings. So let's just go ahead and get straight to that. The awakenings, his A1 is going to go ahead and give you 100 attack speed whenever you go ahead and proc his ult. The next one, which is his A2, 300 attack, normal. Then his A3, when there are more than 2 marksmen on the field, so that could be like a Setchum, a Hex, a Calypso, a Silas is obviously going to be there, right? A Yovar, all those factors, right? Increases the damage of the hero and one random allied marksman by 15%. That's a great boost, right? And then you go ahead and get his A4, rage regen attack +2. Okay, not like too amazing. And then his A5, which is the mark of the Eye of Curse, will increase physical damage to the target by 15%. Mind you, he's already going ahead and buffing himself throughout all of this. 15% is a huge boost overall in terms of damage. Now let's go ahead and get over to the artifact. Now artifact, you have his exclusive artifact which exists, right? So I have a maxed out Eye of Penitence. This is not necessarily the best in slot. It depends on the situation that you're using him in, but typically Eye of Penitence tends to perform very well. It gives you some really good consistency overall, and it does give you a little bit more damage whenever you're comparing it to Spirit Siphon, which people also typically use quite commonly, but overall Eye of Penitence tends to perform marginally better. Marginally. And then you have his gear. So when it comes to gearing Silas, you pretty much want to go ahead and push as much attack damage, as much attack speed, and as much crit damage as possible within the realm of reason, right? So you're going to go ahead, Warlord set, left side. Pretty standard. You want to go for attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed if you're able to. Same thing for his breastplate. Crit damage, crit rate, attack speed, attack bonus, flat attack. Those are the main things you kind of want to push for if you're able to. Then you go ahead and get to his right side set. Now, interestingly enough, Silas is a piercer, but he also has his own exclusive piece of gear. So you have his bangle here, which it is for the Hell's Lament set, which is horrible. I strongly advise don't using it. It is not going to benefit you in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter. This set is just not that good because it's mainly focusing on the ultimate, and Silas does damage even whenever he's not in the ultimate status. And then he also has the Piercer gear, which is going to be kind of here, which is going to be the Cataclysm set. Once again, a little bit similar. He also has a Hell's Lament set, which also kind of fits with him. But generally speaking, it's just not that good. The exclusive gear for Silas, not going to benefit you because the sets are not good enough. What you want to go ahead and do is you want to put Silas in Infernal Roar. And the reason for that is because as we kind of went through with his skills, there's not anything that's a separate skill per se. It's primarily boosts towards his physical, normal, basic attack. So Infernal Roar is 1000% the best set for him. It's not even close. You want to go for perfect stat rolls, which is going to be attack bonus, attack speed, crit damage, crit rate, attack. Just push that in every single piece, and your Silas is going to get to chunking. He's going to do a lot of damage whenever you're going to build him like this. Now, as it currently stands, Silas is used in Gear Raid 1. You could use him in the Codex. What is it? The Tank Codex, where you have to like heal everybody. He works there. He's really good when it comes to Arena. Really good, at least right now. He's kind of meta and rising in the meta prevalence for Guild v Guild right now as well. You can go ahead and use him for Titanic Ruins. Amazing for Guild Boss 1. Also, you can use them for Artifact Material Raid. You can go ahead and use them for honestly everything that you're going to go ahead and use a marksman for. Silas will probably be your go-to. He is the king for Gear Raid 3 because he will basically one-shot the boss. He's just an amazing unit overall. In addition to that, right, you also will go ahead and definitely use Silas whenever you're using him for the Pelagios Codex. Very valuable. Now, one thing that is worthy of note is, let's go ahead and pull this up here, the Bright Caller's Claw. This is another artifact that is somewhat decent for him. However, it is not going to be the best in slot because he's not going to chunk out a ton of auto attacks. He's not going to do a lot of basics. You're really just going to go ahead and try to push as much damage for him. Bright Caller's Claw is typically going to be better for like a unit that's going to attack very fast. So you get the chance of getting that extra trigger effect. But as it stands, Eye of Penitence, he has an exclusive. You want to go ahead and use it, right? So that's Silas.